Good morning, everyone. I'm glad we're almost wrapping up Unit 1, which will be in the next day or two. And I want to talk a little bit about your projects and Unit 2. So if you look at your approved projects, you'll see that I now have numbers to the left of your names, and that is because after Unit 1, you will be in two different groups for discussion boards. For Unit 1, everyone is in the same discussion board, but in Unit 2 and 3, and when we look at projects, you'll be in two different groups. So that's that, but also you can see it down here, groups 1 and 2. If you don't see your name in a group, please let me know. If I misspelled your name, also send me an email to let me know. So that is the project approval, and I want to go over with you some important information about the projects. So I want to go over this because this is where people tend to lose points. And I want to make sure you know this from the beginning so you understand what I'm asking for as you're turning in work. So you're going to end up writing a short paper, and by short I mean 1.5 to 1.5 pages, double spaced. It's just answering a few questions to help people understand your project. You're then going to post your project or artifact, and the key thing is that everyone will be addressing the same questions. They're highlighted in green. And then what you need to remember is you're creating your document, your brochure, your infograph, podcast, whatever it is you're doing, you're creating it for your group. So if you're doing something for white rural teens and you're creating a brochure, the brochure must be for white rural teens. If you're creating a infograph for African American women of college age, then it must be geared towards African Americans of college age. You are not creating this for us. You are creating it for your population that you've chosen and been approved for. And if you haven't chosen a population yet, you will need to, because as we get more specific and further into the semester, I'm going to be asking you for that. So make sure that as you're collecting information, you're thinking about how can you share that information with your population. And the next thing I wanted to go over with you is just the units. Unit 1 was the introduction. There was a lot of reading. I wanted you to have a strong foundation of understanding why we are where we are with the United States healthcare system, and just have a basic foundation of what's happened in the past. In Unit 2, we're looking at two specific social determinants of health. The first one is social context, and the second one is access. So I want to show you this to make sure you're clear. Lesson 1 is general information about social context, but Lesson 2 is geared towards specific topics. So these are listed alphabetically. So the reading material with web links for social context, those first two items, everyone should read. But then after that, you should be going through the list and finding your disease or condition and opening up. For example, if you're doing contraception, you would open up contraception and look over the links that are there for you. Every topic for everyone in here should have someplace in social context. If you don't see your topic, please let me know. I just need to make sure it's there. So that's lesson 1 and 2. Access is set up the same way. Lesson 3 is access to healthcare. Everyone watches all of this and reads all of this. And lesson 4 is set up so that you can look at your content. So here is lesson 4, healthcare. There's information here that it says you should only be focusing your attention on your topic or disease. And then it tells you government pages. This administration has taken down pages or made comments on pages that are not scientifically accurate. So in that section, it tells you that. But then here are your topics: A through B, C through D, H through L, O through P, and R through S. Whatever your topic is, you open it. So for example, if you have hypertension or heart disease, here's that: infant mortality, interpersonal violence. So it's all there. Just as a reminder, everything you do in this course is pretty much set up to get you ready for the final project. So as I'm looking at your information, I am looking at information to see, are you actually covering the topics that need to be covered for your final project? As you get feedback, you'll get feedback from me, and most of that feedback is related to how your projects will look at the end. Some of you have had some issues with APA formatting, and I just want to show you the basic APA formatting is here. I do expect it to be perfect by the end of the semester. I expect it to improve every time you submit something. And then finally, just pay attention to the feedback I'm giving you. Make sure you review and read all the literature. And the other thing I'd like to tell you, to remind you, is make sure you are reading and following the directions, because some people are losing points because they're not doing things the way they're supposed to be done. So I've enjoyed your work so far. I'm looking forward to what you write about the end of Unit 1, and I'm also looking forward to you learning more about social context and access to quality health care in Unit 2. Have a great week, everyone.